We've officially been doing this challenge for a week, and unfortunately the results are not quite where I wish they would be at, but you know what? It's okay. However, my biggest issue right now is the whole getting canceled thing. Not only have I gotten one request from a buyer to cancel something because she didn't actually read the size, so she put the order in and then canceled it, but also I had to cancel a sale this morning because I had listed something. It sold because of the auto selling feature on Poshmark, but then I didn't realize that it had sold in store last night. So I came into the store this morning to try to ship it out and it's gone. So I have to cancel that sale. On top of all this, I'm having another issue because USPS, my local USPS, and I've tried to talk to them about this, but they just don't like to scan things in on time. So I had a buyer who, she bought the Michael Kors purse last weekend. She requested that I ship it out ASAP. And I was like, perfect. My post office is closed on the weekends. I will ship it out on Monday. So I did. I dropped off my packages at the post office on Monday. The line was horrendous, so I did not wait in line. I just went in and I dropped them off at the counter, and those packages did not get scanned in until yesterday. I have no idea why. Actually, that's not true. I've talked to one of my postmen before. Postmen? Is that the word? Anyway, I talked to one of them before, and they said that they don't scan items in until they reach Portland because it like helps with their scan time. I don't know. It makes them look better on paper. I don't know if that's actually what happened, but essentially this buyer is pissed because on the tracking, it looks like I didn't ship the item until yesterday. What I'm learning from this is that if I am going to drop things off, or even if I get them to pick it up, I need a receipt. I need proof that I shipped something when I said I did, so a customer cannot come back and be like, you took your sweet ass time and now I won't get my thing in time. Which honestly, as a buyer and as a seller and as just somebody who understands the post office system, if I'm in a rush for something, I'm not buying it off of a secondhand market because there are just too many factors that go into whether or not that item is actually going to arrive to me when I need it. And that's when I rely on things like driving the 2 hours to go into Portland to go pick something up from wherever, or Amazon. And even Amazon is not reliable since I don't live in a large city. Things don't come as quickly. But anyway, that's what I'm dealing with. I'm really nervous about my post office not scanning things in, how that's gonna affect me, and also just getting things deleted before they sell. My Shopify website is linked to my POS system. So hypothetically, if somebody were to buy something in store, it would automatically delete off of my Shopify. I'm wondering though, if I could somehow link those with Poshmark if I were using like a cross-listing service, but I don't know if whatever cross-listing service, it might link between like the platform that I'm selling on and Shopify, but I don't know if it'll fully connect to my POS system. So that's a whole thing. I'm really bummed. Actually, I'm not that bummed. It sold more in store than it did online, which isn't usually the case, so I'm happy with that. I took the day off from filming yesterday because I needed to focus on other parts of my life, which we are creating space for that. That's why I set the intention at the beginning of this challenge to only list 10 items per day. I still did that yesterday. I still listed my 10 items, just I didn't want to film. I also never said I was going to film every day, so there's that. Since the last time we spoke, I had made one sale. I didn't make a sale yesterday, but I made a sale the day before that. And they were these Doc Martens right here, these coral ones. These sold for $60 on Poshmark. I believe it was by an offer to likers kind of situation. And then the thing that canceled, or the thing that I have to cancel now, sold this morning again by the automated selling where they set an offer and then Poshmark automatically counters. It was this Portland leather sling bag and it sold for $40. I'm gonna have to cancel that. It sold for $55.50 here in my store, so we're happy with that. And then lastly, I sold this Quince wool shirt jacket, and I've had this for a long time. I actually relisted it the other day when I said I was relisting stale inventory, so I'm happy to see this gone. This also sold by offer, and yeah, I'm just happy to get it out of here. But it's just funny because two of these brands, Doc Martens and Quince, are actually two of the brands that I had initially wanted to prioritize listing because I knew that they were gonna sell. And so far, I've sold 2 Quince items, and actually this is the only Doc Marten item I've sold so far, but I listed all of them, so we're happy with that. I'm gonna get these items shipped. I didn't come into work yesterday because I was doing home stuff, but I got in some purses, so I'm definitely gonna be listing these. We got this Coach bag right here, so cute. Got this Dooney and Burke purse, and this is like a crossbody. I've got this little Kate Spade bag, and then I got a Coach wristlet here. This one's really cute. This is actually Tory Burch. This leather bag is actually in excellent condition, so excited to get this listed. And then this last one is Juicy Couture, which I'm not sure how that's gonna sell. We're gonna try it out. So I'm gonna get these listed, and then I'm gonna hunt for some other things. We also did get some shoes in yesterday, so I might get those listed. I'm really enjoying prioritizing shoes and purses for this Poshmark challenge. And also I just, you know, price-wise, shoes have always been my favorite thing to sell. Purses are a new thing, but it's working. So I'm not mad at it. And we're just gonna keep it going. Okay, so for some daily totals, since we have been doing this for a week, after canceling all the sales that I needed to, it was actually just one, my total pending, because nothing has been accepted yet, is $534. So we are 1 week in, and I have only made $534. And that's after the Poshmark fees. This is what will be deposited into my account. I feel like before I was giving you guys the total with fees, so I apologize for that. Now we're starting on this number. So the number that's actually going to be deposited into my account is $534.40. I have sold 11 items in this sale. So I have sold 11 items during this challenge, so not a whole lot. I can't currently pull up how many items I've sold just during the challenge. I could, I'm not going to calculate it right now just because I have to open my store. But so far in the month of September, I have published 123 listings. And that's going to be about 110 listings for this challenge. It was pretty easy to see because I had a bunch of listings at the beginning of the month and then nothing. So I just subtracted that. So a little over 100 listings this month, and I've sold 11. That's a 10% return or a 10% sell-through rate. So I'm going to have to adjust some of my things, definitely get some things listed more. I am still heavily reconsidering doing some kind of live sale at some point. I just have to figure out scheduling wise when I'm going to be able to do that. But yeah, that's where we're at. It's not looking great, but I'm still happy. This is $500 more in my bank account than I would have if I didn't do this challenge. So any penny helps. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this challenge, my rent is getting paid regardless if I do this challenge or not. That was never like, oh, I have to do this in order to pay my rent. It was just to kind of see and challenge myself to see if I could do it. And I'm proud of what I've done so far. It also helps me get back onto YouTube. So yeah, no complaints here. But I'm really curious. I would love to get to 1,000. I mean, let's double this, double it, pass it on to the next person. But we'll see. I have a feeling that if I actually do a couple live sales, I don't know, this is high hopes. Maybe this is my Delulu speaking, but maybe with some live selling, I could actually reach the 2,500 in 2 weeks. Maybe. But anyway, that's it for today. Thank you guys for just staying up to date with these videos and keeping me on track with all of this. I also want to shout out to somebody. I'll put their comment here because I can't think of their name, but thank you for reminding me that I can just mark listings as not for sale instead of having to delete them so that my account doesn't get flagged, because we're already dealing with things selling in the store before I can delete it and having to cancel those sales. So we're just trying to keep our account in good standing. So I really appreciate that. I don't know why I didn't think about that, but it's gonna happen now. So anyway, thank you guys. I will stay. I really needed the break yesterday, but now I'm feeling back and better to film again. So let's get into it, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. All right.